I'm
Kevin's.
currently incapacitated.
We caught her sister last week. Their siblings were missing, presumed dead. Their mother is a feral cat, but thankfully the restaurant that they were living at the back of, the staff had been feeding them very well, so they are pretty tame. So we have her for the weekend, and hopefully we're going to get her rescue secured at the start of the week. Anyways, you want to move for her?
Oh, she's fine. They say you can tell a lot about a person by the company they keep. So, according to the Los Angeles Times, James Franco's former students sue alleging sexual exploitation and fraud at his defunct school. The suit was brought by former students who accused the Oscar-nominated star, along with business partners, of sex discrimination, sexual harassment, fraudulent business practices, and intimidation, amongst other things.
Fuck, that's an interesting thing, probably complete coincidence, but one of them is called Sarah Tither Kaplan, who also shares a surname Kaplan.
Oh my goodness, wow. Studio 4 allowed Franco and his entourage to collect tuition for their own personal gain and stockpile explicit footage of women.
Yeah, apparently they were like conducting classes saying that the women were being taught how to act in sex scenes. It kind of brought memories back to me. My friends used to work in a clothes store whenever she was a student, and I remember her telling me one time that this like middle-aged man came into the store and said that he was like wanting to buy some swimwear for his wife, but he wasn't like sure how it would suit her. But yeah, his wife looked like my friend, so could you like try on this bikini for me, please, and can I take photos with you?
What?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It kind of brought me back memories of that, just that whole story of the sex scenes.
Yeah.
So this is not the first time that James Franco has been accused of inappropriate sexual behaviour.
No, over the years there have been other allegations of sexual misconduct, but of course there's also his ties to Amber Heard, most recently the CCTV footage of the elevator which showed him getting into said elevator with Amber Heard, both of whom were making concerted efforts to hide their faces from the camera.
Obvious concerted efforts. Which, by the way, where are the bruises? So, rightfully so, Johnny Depp's attorneys are wanting to call James Franco as a witness just to say whether or not he noticed any marks or any bruises or scratches on Amber Heard, and also did she discuss anything about the incident with Amber Heard.
Yeah, if only they could find out where he lives, though. That's proving to be a bit difficult. Apparently he doesn't live in their hallway, who knew? It's just in the neighbourhood.
Yeah, this isn't a neighbourhood. No, I live in the same building as you, that's why I need to hide my face on the fucking elevator. Sure, right, whatever.
Well, they both knew where the camera was. Like, I can understand Amber knowing where the camera was because she lives there. She's well used to the layout of that building and where the cameras may be. So she clearly told Mr. Franco, look here or keep your head down there, but thanks to some investigative journalism, it was very easy to put the pieces together.
Yeah, he made a public appearance in LA in the days before, wearing the exact same outfit he happened to be wearing in the elevator.
What a bum.
Yeah.
So either that was James Franco getting into the elevator, or someone in that city wears the exact same getup as James Franco. Didn't even bother to clean up for Amber.
I know.
Maybe that's why they're still not together.
I know.
Just didn't put the effort in.
Are you, is that growth in your shoulder coming on okay?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Do you want me to hold it for a while?
Yeah, you want to take her?
Come on, baby, let's put, oh, don't get sharp with me.
Right. So you would think that this news about James Franco would be like the wildest thing that came out this week as it relates to associates of Amber Heard.
Yeah.
Because along comes Elon Musk and says, hold my beer. The very next day, an interesting detail came out about the private investigator who he hired to look into Vernon Unsworth. The man he called a pedo guy on the very public platform of Twitter. And shock of shocks, as a result of that tweet, Elon is now being sued by Mr. Unsworth for defamation of character. So instead of putting his hands up and saying, yeah, you know what, I shouldn't have said that, I was wrong, yada yada yada, no, he decided to not only double down, he trebled down by not only sticking by what he said, but actually hiring who he considered to be a private investigator to try and prove himself right.
So to give a bit of background, like last year, there was a incident in which I think it was like a football team of young kids, I think they were like aged 10 to 13 or something like that. They somehow got themselves into a cave in Thailand, and they got stuck, lost in the cave. And I think it was a few weeks, like they initially thought the kids were all dead, them and their coach and their teacher. And it turned out they were thankfully alive, but there was a whole massive drama played out in the news as how to get them out of the cave.
I'm never one to pass up an opportunity for publicity. Elon Musk stuck his oar in with a contraption that he wanted the emergency services to use that was of course built by Tesla. The emergency services opted not to use this machine. I guess they decided to prioritize the safety of the children and a more secure, reliable means of rescuing over some contraption that Tesla came up with in an effort to try and gain publicity. Publicity which quite frankly they didn't really need, because they were, and could be argued still are, one of the most lucrative companies in the world right now. So based off of that refusal, Elon Musk decided it was a good idea to take to Twitter to air his grievances, and in the process called Vernon Unsworth,
one of the emergency service experts.
He decided to call him a pedo guy.
And of course Vernon decides to sue for defamation because you cannot go around calling people pedophiles without proof.
Especially when you're the most famous billionaire in the world right now, using a public platform such as Twitter. One or two people may see those tweets. So to make things more interesting, as mentioned earlier on, in an effort to double or treble down, call it what you will, Elon Musk paid $50,000 to a man called James Howard to investigate this Vernon Unsworth. Now, this James Howard person told him that he provided security for Cannes Film Festival, that he worked with MI5, and that he served in the United Kingdom Special Forces for 11 years. Turns out that wasn't exactly true. This man, whose full name is James Howard Higgins, turns out he is a bit of a felon. He never worked at the Cannes Film Festival. He never worked with Special Forces. He's a convicted felon who, over the path of his career, stole up to $320,000 from his own company and defrauding business partners. So Elon Musk, more concerned with being right, didn't even perform a background check on this person that he sent to investigate a man who is yet to be proven to have done anything wrong. What kind of man sends a convicted felon? Actually, no, sorry. He didn't even know that because he didn't do a background check. What kind of man just sends anyone to investigate someone? Because it's worth noting that this Howard Higgins guy contacted Elon Musk and offered his services. Oh yeah, if you give me $50,000, I'll investigate this Vernon Unsworth fella. And Elon said, sure, sounds legit.
Yeah, so I heard that yesterday and I thought, you know what? Musk has just lost his shit. He's lost it. He's lost his fucking mind.
I'm beginning to think this Elon Musk isn't the cunning tactician we thought he was.
I mean, if Elon Musk wanted to hire somebody to do any sort of investigative work, he could hire the very best, the creme de la creme of the business.
Yeah, he was happy enough to take this total stranger at his word. I mean, it's funny, like reading through the story, this Higgins Howard fella put so much effort into defrauding other people and scamming other people. Elon Musk, by hiring this guy without question, like Elon Musk essentially scammed himself. What a fucking dork. This Howard Higgins guy must have thought the fucking Queen Mary was sailing in for him when he was like, wow, geez, that was a little too easy, wasn't it?
well.
I mean, that's so, yeah, it's just so bizarre that two key figures, actually two people that Amber Heard has been involved with, let's say. I'm not going to say anything more definitive than that, but definitely provably involved with. Two quite salacious stories came out about them and their dealings within 2 days.
So the thing is, you got to remember, folks, that once an allegation against somebody is made, it's very easy for anybody else to step on the bandwagon and make similar allegations, because the more allegations are made, the more easily believed they are.
Was it also reported not so long ago that he was wanting to bring Amber Heard's allegation into his lawsuit to try and prop his lawsuit up? Because again, as you said, the more allegations are made, the easier they are to believe. But and I know there was a lot of negative reaction from the fan base, but you know what? I say bring it on, because if that does actually go through, that doesn't make her allegations any more credible. That doesn't make them any less disproven than they already are. And to me, that has shades of the 2005 Michael Jackson trial, when Tom Sneddon not only rallied but changed the law in Los Angeles to introduce prior similar allegations, even if they weren't tried, into that case. So what he essentially did was, in 2005, he brought in the allegations of the Chandler case from 1993. Well, I say case, it didn't actually go to criminal trial for reasons that we've discussed in a previous video. The feeling around that move was that the Arvizo case in and of itself was so flimsy that Sneddon and the prosecution team brought these previous allegations in to try and prop up the case in hand, to try and make it seem more legit, to try and make a stronger case against Michael. All 14 of those counts Michael's found not guilty on, so it just seems like a very cynical move. It's almost as if showing your hand straight away, yeah, okay, my original case is very flimsy, let me bring in this to try and prop it up.
Yeah, like that's what I do think happened with Rocky. I think he was probably fired for whatever misconduct or whatever, not related to Johnny Depp, and he then figured, you know what, this guy who's been accused of domestic violence, like, has this reputation for being a bit of a drunk, he's got a lot of money, I'll just make a load of allegations against him, and people will just believe it. Quids in. It would be my view that Amber's legal team will not want to get involved in this Brooks case if they can avoid it. What
benefit would it be to them to go ahead with that? I mean, they would essentially be prejudicing their own defense in the lawsuit for defamation brought forward by Johnny. They would basically be exposing their case in this Rocky Brooks trial.
And if Rocky loses his lawsuits, there's no win or loss for Amber's team. What they're more concerned with is February 2020. They want to win Amber's case, and that's it.
Exactly. And try not to get fired beforehand.
Yeah. Anyway, so I guess we'll go and look after little Chuck.
Stay here with the cat on our shoulder.
Yeah, I think you're stuck there for the rest of the day. Oh, she's so cute though, isn't she? She fun? Spay and neuter your pets, people. Peace out.